I've struggled with a lot of stuff growing up, and that pretty much stretches out to mental stuff that I had to deal with, a lot of depression and anxiety, and it actually got to the point where on 3 separate occasions in my life I tried to kill myself.
Really?
Yeah. It's been not an easy road.
Were you weight training at this point in time?
I started weight training when I was 13 because I was really, really sick and tired of all of the kids picking on me for being fat because I was a fat kid. And when I was younger, obviously I was 13 pounds born, and I was always bigger than absolutely everybody. I dwarfed some of my teachers when I was still in elementary school. So I was a large person from a very young age.
Wow, yeah.
And my parents recognized this very early, and they kind of beat it into my head that I'm much bigger than everybody else. So if I get into a fight, I'm going to seriously hurt somebody.
True.
So I don't know if this was their exact reason or the outcome that they wanted, but it kind of twisted my mind to the point where I didn't defend myself when I got picked on.
Really?
Yeah. So
you're so fearful that you could truly hurt somebody because you knew your own strength, I'm sure, at that age.
Yeah. Yeah. I was able to pick, like in wrestling, I was able to pick kids up and literally throw them.
And these kids, not seeing you do this, still try to...
They knew I wouldn't fight back.
Come on.
They knew I wouldn't fight back.
Wow.
I remember one time, it was when my dad was actually able to make a wrestling practice, and one of the other wrestlers in a smaller weight class was just torturing me relentlessly. Relentlessly. I'm talking every single day during school, because I went to school with him, and then during wrestling practice would just torture me, just constantly poking fun at me, making fun of me. And it got to the point where my dad was on the sidelines and he was watching everything. I walked over to him with tears in my eyes running down my face. I went up to him. I was like, I can't take him making fun of me anymore. I can't take it. What do I do? He's like, I watched everything. I saw it all happen. Next time he makes fun of you, pick him up and drop him. So I did. I walked over. Sure enough, he started giving me crap again. And are you familiar with pro wrestling?
I love WWF.
WWF.
It's my bro.
I actually gave this kid a scoop slam.
Oh.
So I picked him up in between his legs, behind his neck.
Yeah.
I picked him up, turned him upside down, and then dumped him. He left me alone.
Never again.
Never again.
Did he say anything? Ow. And I'm sure everybody around seen it too, right?
Oh, yeah.
Was that a pivotal moment where things changed after that? Or was it still... No?
No, because...
Wow.
Yeah, the kind of bullying continued, and because obviously that was just the wrestling. That was just the really like the elementary school wrestling team. That wasn't the entire school. So that pretty much picked up. I didn't really learn to stand up for myself until I was about 17 or 18.
What was it at that 17 that gave you that confidence?
I would say this was when I started pursuing stuff that would make me happy, and I stopped trying to appease other people. Because when you're a high schooler, it's not the coolest thing in the world to say, I want to be a pro wrestler when I graduate high school. You know how it is.
I was saying it. But as in the UK.
Right. But I was telling people that, and I was getting made fun of for that. So I just decided that, you know what, this is going to be what makes me happy. So I don't really care what you think. I'm going to pursue this anyway. And that's when I started, for lack of a better term, that's when I started growing some balls. And I started standing up for myself a bit more. That's when I started getting left alone. So
was it the bullying that led to the mental health stuff?
Oh, it definitely had a hand in it. Absolutely. Yeah. Absolutely. But I didn't attempt to take my life until I was an adult.
Oh.
I had thoughts about it when I was a kid.
Okay.
But I never had the means to do it. And then as an adult, my 3 attempts, one, I had a gun in my mouth, and then the other 2 times I actually physically drove out to a bridge and the police had to come and stop me.
Jeez.
Yeah.
Where were you in that point in life?
Oh, gosh. Well, it was actually right before I got into strongman was the gun and the first bridge. That was right after bodybuilding and right before strongman. Just the level of loneliness that I felt, just feeling like I had nobody, feeling like nobody cared about me, nobody would miss me if I was gone, living with that really, really bad mindset day in and day out. Nothing I do matters. I'm not going anywhere. It just gets to you, to the point where you just want it to stop more than anything. You just want those voices to go away. You want that feeling of dreadful loneliness to just go away. And unfortunately, it got to the point where I felt like that was the only option.
What was the moment that stopped you?
Well, the bridge episodes, I mean, the cops stopped me. I was physically stopped.
How many cops? Holy crap.
There was like 3 or 4 squad cars.
Squad cars. We need backup, yeah.
Yeah, we're going to need a lot of help.
Yeah.
But I'm very thankful for those experiences, because not only do I know what it feels like to, not to get super corny, but I know what it feels like to be in like the flames of hell. But I know what it feels like to be on the other side of that, because I overcame that. And I feel like those experiences did make me a stronger person. And they also helped me appreciate what I have now, because I wouldn't have everything that I have now if I had succeeded.
And you appreciate it?
I do. I really do. I appreciate the life that I have, the people that I get to have my life with. Everything. I appreciate where I'm at now.
And you know what it is too? Earned, not given.
Oh, God. Oh, God, yeah. Yeah, I take pride in being able to say honestly and truthfully that I have been given nothing in this life. I have clawed and scratched and fought for everything that I have.
Yeah.
And I'll be honest with you. I don't know if you're the same way because of how successful you are. I don't know if you're the same way, or maybe this is just my bitter soul. But whenever I hear somebody say, "Oh man, I wish I could do what you do. You're so lucky."
Oh my God.
That irks me, man.
It should do.
That irks me, because it's like you see the trophies and you see the successful business. On my part, you see me lifting these ridiculously heavy weights. You see me traveling all over the world.
You see the results.
You see the results, absolutely. And I was having the conversation with him right before the podcast started.
Yes.
But literally, when I started Strongman in the earliest part of my career, I was homeless. I was living in my car. And on top of that, and there's one story that really puts it into perspective of, this is how much I am willing to suffer for this. I was homeless. I was in my car, and I'm digging through the floor and in between the seat cushions looking for change. I had no money in my bank account, nothing. And I ended up scrounging together $4.11. I had one option out of 2. I could either put gas in my car and go to the gym, or I could eat. And I went to a gas station and I put that $4.11 in gas in my car, and I drove to the gym. So there's nothing that anybody can say to me personally as far as excuses, because I have literally chosen to train. This was before I went pro. This was before I started making good money. This was before all of that. I chose to train over eat. So I don't care what your excuses are. You can always get it in. You can always work harder.
Thank you for watching this segment. Check out the full interview on iTunes, Spotify, or YouTube. Help us by subscribing. Leave a like, comment, or a positive review. Click this to see what YouTube recommends, and this to see the full interview. See you on the next one. Out.